There's a whole lot to do in Among Us, but there's definitely some things you should never do. As much as we love the game, it doesn't do that great of a job explaining some of its rules or offering players any tips. Luckily, you don't have to worry, as Game Planet has got you covered with 10 things you should never do in Among Us. It doesn't matter if you're a new player or a seasoned veteran, there's something in this video that'll definitely help you win some matches in Among Us. And don't worry folks, we'll be covering things you shouldn't do as both imposter and crewmate. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and hit that notification button, it really helps us out. So let's get into our list of 10 things you should never do in Among Us. Don't avoid tasks. Coming in at number 10, we've got something super important. Don't ignore tasks. Seriously, you'd be surprised how many crewmates avoid doing tasks and just roam around the map, hoping to catch an imposter in the act. Not only does avoiding tasks make you look sus, but it helps out your fellow crewmates. And don't forget, you can still win the game if you complete all the tasks. That's right, it's something most players forget, but you can really win the game if you complete all your tasks. Even if you die and become a ghost, you can still help out your fellow players by completing your tasks. But okay, say you're the imposter, you should definitely fake tasks, right? Well, not these ones. Don't avoid visual cue tasks. Okay, say you're an imposter. You've gotta fake doing tasks to make it look like you're a crewmate, right? Well, there are some tasks you have to avoid unless you want to get caught. You see, some tasks in Among Us have visual cues that prove someone is doing them. Here are some tasks that you're gonna want to avoid. Shooting meteors. So over in the weapons room, you can actually see when someone's firing up at asteroids if the gun goes off. That's right, each time you shoot, you can actually see lasers flying. Throwing out the trash. Don't ever go to a garbage chute and try to pretend you're throwing out the trash because crewmates can see the trash floating out in space. Scanned at medbay. This one's pretty obvious. If you go stand on the platform to get scanned, the green hologram won't move through you, signaling to the players around you that you're not a crewmate. Those are just some of the tasks you should avoid if you're imposter. Now, another way to get caught is to follow people a bit too closely. Don't stalk. One of the best ways to get all eyes on you is to follow one person and one person only. It's a bit too close for comfort, don't you think? Now, we're not saying don't be vigilant of other people, but you should definitely check yourself. If you're being clingy to other players, especially one particular player, I mean, even in reality, no one likes a clingy person. Get off of me! If you're following just one person, that's a great way to get an emergency meeting called on you for being sus. If you're only following one player around, it looks like you're waiting for them to get backed into a corner so you can kill them. Not a smart move, genius. However, we do recommend sticking in groups if you do get the chance. It's a great way to stay safe and keep tabs on others, while also maintaining an alibi if things go south. Speaking of alibis, make sure you have witnesses. Don't be alone. This one may sound almost hypocritical, but bear with us. You should try to never be alone. If you're alone, not only do you have no witnesses around to protect you if someone calls you sus, think about it like this. If no one sees you for the entire game, they're more likely to think that you're the imposter as you're sneaking around in vents and killing others. Make it a priority for other players to stop and recognize you. Another reason why you should never be alone is because you're more likely to die if no eyes are on you. Areas to avoid are electrical or communications, which are deep and isolated from the rest of the ship. Never idle and get in and out of isolated areas as quickly as possible, and make sure you come across other players. When it comes to dealing with other players, make sure to never do this. Don't go chasing imposters. At number 6, we're bringing up a cardinal sin for you crewmates out there who just have a penchant for going after imposters. Don't! Don't stand sentry looking for imposters because it labels you as a hunter waiting for prey. Don't camp at security cameras either. If you do that, you'll just get killed by someone because you're an easy target. Instead, just blend in and do your tasks, making sure the other players notice you as a friendly, helpful fellow, not someone with hawk-like eyes. If you go poking for an imposter, you're more likely to get killed by one. So heed our advice and steer clear from doing anything that doesn't involve doing your tasks. Don't linger. Number 5, halfway there, folks. Just like how we said don't go looking for imposters, the same can be said for going for kills as an imposter. As an imposter, your job is to kill all the crewmates. But the best way to do that is to be both deliberate and organic in how you go about killing. Do not ever linger around your kills. Once you make your kill, get out of there. No questions asked. And when you're going for a kill, be quick. Don't just stand near the crewmate, giving them an opportunity to call you out for being suspicious. After all, as an imposter, you have to pretend to be a crewmate, and no crewmate ever stands around doing nothing, right? So be quick when you're killing someone. Just survey the area and move on. And if you think lingering alive is bad, wait till you see what you should avoid as a ghost. Don't forget to sabotage as a ghost. Yes, even as a ghost, you're able to sabotage the game's map, just like how ghost crewmates can do tasks. Once you're a ghost, the game isn't over, so don't you dare back out of the match. When you get voted out, stick around and help your fellow imposters by sabotaging the map, which will help you and your team win the game. Even when you've fallen, you can still make an impact to turn the tide in your favor. Speaking of sabotage, you should always go and fix it. Before we move on to our top 3, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're loving what you're seeing, hit that notification button so you'll know exactly when we drop a new Among Us video. Okay, cool. Now, on to our top 3. Don't wait for a fix. As a crewmate, it is your duty to keep the ship in tip-top shape. That means when a sabotage is happening, you should be the person to go and fix the issue. Yes, you, not the other players on the map. Let's face it, almost everyone has that, somebody else will fix it mentality, which then results in no one showing up. Don't do that. If something has been sabotaged, your best bet is to rush over and fix it yourself. And if another crewmate shows up, good. Not only will it get done faster, but you can also be sure that they're actually a crewmate and not a pesky imposter. And don't forget, if the countdown on the sabotage reaches 0, then the imposters will win. And if you're an imposter who is keen on winning, then you're gonna love our next don't. Don't forget an alibi. If you're an imposter, then one of the most important tools in your non-existent metaphorical toolkit is an alibi. Seriously, things can go super south, super fast in emergency meetings if you don't have a consistent, realistic alibi. If you've killed someone as an imposter, make sure to get to another room where someone can confirm that you were there. If someone can back you up after a kill, you'll get off scot-free and no one will vote you out. Now, if a dead body is found and you can't prove you were somewhere else, consider yourself unlucky because you'll be voted off the island. Now, if you want to maximize your time on the map, then be sure not to do the following. Don't forget to self-report. Alright, our number 1 thing you shouldn't do is forget to self-report. You might be thinking why we're telling you to snitch on yourself when you've killed someone. Well, it's not so much telling on yourself, but more so exonerating yourself. If you've killed someone and the coast is clear, report the body yourself and say that you stumbled upon it. If you think you've got a shot, you can even blame it on someone else. Of course, you should never abuse this thing, and using it once a game is perfect, because it'll make players think you're a crewmate. It's a fantastic tool, and one you should definitely use while you're playing the game. Alright folks, there we have it. 10 things you shouldn't be doing in Among Us. Comment below and let us know if we missed anything you shouldn't do. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that notification button if you loved the video. We'll see you next time on Game Planet.